Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing a wonderful 2010 limited edition of 500 pieces by Piaget, one of the underrated manufacturers in the business, one of my stealth favorites, and this particular watch, one I would buy and wear myself. The Piaget Polo FortyFive Chronograph 500-piece titanium limited series. The model debuted in 2009. The specific unit you see here, the 500-piece limited series edition, was a 2010 debut, and what a way to start the 2010s. As you can see, it is a grade 5 titanium chronograph dual time. It has a lot going for it, and on my 16cm circumference wrist, it wears easily. The watch is about 45 millimeters across, and true to its specification, as a Piaget, it's 45 millimeters thick but very slim at 12.6. It's only about as thick as a Submariner, and you're going to find it's within 0.2 of a millimeter of a Daytona. For practical purposes, they are the same thickness. It will slide underneath any cuff. Now, lug-to-lug, the watch is reasonably constrained at 47.8 millimeters. You'll find that this wears well even on a smaller wrist. 14 centimeters wrist circumference could wear the watch, 16 centimeters, and it looks and feels perfect, right down to the planted stance and security on the wrist. It features the traditional Polo Gadron. Now, the Polo line, launched in the late 1970s, aesthetically has very little to do with the current Polo S. However, it does have a very close tie visually to the model you see here. This is a true Polo with the striated gadron across the case, across the bezel, creating a tension with the rounded profile, and even across the strap. You can see there are molded gadron, and then there are set metallic components, and there is a dramatic contrast not just between the satin and the polish of the case and bezel, but between metal and rubber. The molding is handsome and helps to define the strap and give it character. Underneath, there are hollows to vent the wrist and create air pockets for strategic comfort. Many individual cutting demarcations on both sides of the strap so you can get a perfect sizing, and there are quick adjust systems with a push button slider on both sides of the trigger deploying clasp. Also note that polished gadron again, and horizontal satin finish rather than linear. Nice. Polished cabochon style triggers to activate the micro adjustment, twin triggers for absolute security. This is a wonderfully comprehensive set of equipment, and you can see that the case band featuring polymer inlays on both the shouldered pushers and the crown itself with Piaget logo, handsome, fully realized, and providing a nice contrast on the case flank. The case flank quite slim. There's a pusher adjuster for the 24-hour second time zone, which resides at 9 o'clock, and you can see I can adjust that quite easily, monitoring a second time zone with easy day-night distinction thanks to the 24-hour format. You can see a polished chaptering surrounding the dial itself, and the satin finish on the hoods of the bezel and lugs. As you can see, linear satin. There's a different satin that's longitudinal on the hood of the case itself, and there's a linear satin along the case band as well as a camber to the case that arcs down and around the wrist. Note and appreciate the use of a cambered sapphire. It curves from top to bottom, that is to say from 12 to 6. That's an expensive feature to spec on your watch. Let's give ourselves some more light and appreciate the features and depth of this dial. Classic sporting tritone of black, silver, white, and red. I should say it's really a quad tone, as the white and the silver are quite distinct. It is loomed. There are applique indices for the hours, so despite the fact that this is an open dial rather than a skeleton, it is truly open. You can see that it's easy to read the hours and the minutes. You also have chronograph registers, constant seconds, just enough color and character and balance to keep it all coherent, and then there's an engine turning to the PVD darkened base plate of the movement beneath. You can even see the motion works actuating the hands at center for setting and drive. Turn it all over and you have Piaget caliber 880p. A lot going on inside this case. First of all, 100 meters water resistant thanks to a screw down crown and sophisticated seals. You have a 50-hour power reserve. You have a 28.8 beat rate. You have both hacking seconds and a quick set date. 12 and 24-hour format dual time. You have unidirectional winding with ceramic rotor bearings for efficiency and reduced Maintenance over the long term. This is a 35 jewel movement that is ultra slim. Consider that the Rolex 4130 and a Daytona, not a thick movement, but it's about 6.5 millimeters thick. This movement right here, despite all of its complexity, is only 5.6 millimeters thick. It beats away at 28.8 and it features the refinement you expect in a modern chronograph, which is to say it has a column wheel function selector, and you can see the column wheel operating underneath a partially skeletonized bridge. It also features a vertical clutch for smooth engagement, so you can see there's no jump or stagger to the chronograph seconds hand when it moves into action. And you can leave the chronograph running full time if you prefer to have center seconds and just treat it like a seconds hand. There is no wear and tear. Once again, quick set and for the date and hacking seconds. The watch has all of the tools and all of the toys and wonderful attention to detail, right down to the silk screened Piaget logo underneath the sapphire that floats above the dial. It even features a high horology finish on the case back with circular Cote de Genève and true fired blued screws, not chemically dyed. You can see this Polo FortyFive limited edition chrono and make it yours on the watch box. Piaget Polo FortyFive. You can see the hands aren't quite as distinct as the indices.